welcome to an all-new beauty reset. I have not done one of these in a while, so we are overdue to clean out my everyday makeup drawer, organize it a little bit, do a shop my stash, wash my brushes, just get everything in order. We're doing all the beauty chores today. I'm even gonna redo my nails on camera. We're gonna do everything, so let's just jump straight into it. Welcome to my everyday makeup drawer. It's looking a little bit rough, so I'm thinking step one is going to be taking everything out and getting the brushes separated because I absolutely need to wash them. Separating out like the sponges and any other tools, and then putting a lot of this makeup back into my storage and then swapping that out for some fresh stuff in here. So we're gonna do a little bit of a shop my stash, but first we have to get this cleaned out. I've been using this Merit eyeshadow pretty much every day lately, so this is definitely gonna stay in, but this is the shade Studio. And then these are the new Sigma skin tints, or I guess it's the new Sigma skin tint. I have tried these one singular time. I actually kind of mixed together shades 2 and 3, and the one time I've used it, I've really liked it. So I definitely want to keep this in to keep testing it. I feel like I should put this back because I've been wearing it so much lately. It's the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in the shade Fair. Like, I have been wearing this every single day, and part of me is like, I should put it back for the sake of trying something else. We'll put it back for now. Maybe it'll come back in. But I've also been liking his new blush shade. This is the Watermelon shade. This is one of the new ones. I think we'll put this back for now, but maybe we'll pull it back in. Okay, you saw my video with the Naked palette that I filmed recently. This is back for a very limited time, but I'm thinking we'll probably leave this in also. Okay, I also have the peach shade out of these blushes. I'm like, which one? I'm like, maybe I should keep one of these in and put one of them back, or put them both back. So these are two of the new shades for Makeup by Mario. They're Soft Peach and Watermelon, and I do like both. You know what? We'll decide later. For now, I just need to like clean this drawer out. I think I'm gonna put this back, but I have been reaching for this a lot lately. It's the Natasha Denona My Mini Dream palette. Ooh, and this shade. Okay, this particular shade from Patrick Ta out of the blushes, I have been reaching for so much. This is actually gonna stay in 100%. This is the shade She's Blushing. It's like kind of a red, like a nude with some red to it is what I would say. You also heard in my review of these that I didn't end up loving the Rhode Pocket Blushes quite as much as I was hoping. I know these have been really well received, but I don't know. I think they're a little bit creamier than I tend to prefer, so I'm gonna put this one back for now. Lots of brushes that I need to wash. Plus, I've been keeping a lot of my brushes just in this bag. This is the bag that BK came out with the Hot and Flashy collab. So everything in here needs to be washed. These are all like filthy. You remember how obsessed I was with this foundation last summer? I completely used this up and then repurchased it. This is my second tube. It's the Tarte Shape Tape. But I still love it, but I don't feel like I've been reaching for it nearly as much this year because I have been so obsessed with the Fenty Soft Lit. I think I like this more than Eavesdrop, and I didn't at first, but these days I've been reaching for this pretty much daily. So this is staying in 1,000,000%, not going anywhere. These are blotting papers from REM. This needs to go in my purse. One of the reasons I really love swapping out my makeup drawers, obviously to rotate through things and make sure I'm using all of it, but I also just feel so excited about my products again. Like, I remember things that I haven't used in a while and I feel re-inspired to use them. And it makes my collection feel really fresh, even if the products aren't actually new. Oh, I've also been trying this. This is from Grande Lash. It is their brown mascara. And I wish it was more brown. I mean, as you can see, it's one of those brown mascaras that's basically like a brown black, which I know some people still like just for a slightly more subtle look, but I really want to see that brown pigment, so this has not been my favorite actually. Also, okay, this has been like super viral on the internet. It is the Wonder Skin tint, or well, it's a lip stain. So it comes out blue and then you leave it on for honestly not that long at all, probably like 30 seconds. Wipe it off, and then you have your lip stain, and they have a bunch of different colors. So this one I've been using is the shade Charming, and I actually really like this. Like, it can get a little bit patchy, but I would say on a similar level to most lip stains. I think the wear is pretty good as well. Like, it could maybe stay longer. I wouldn't say it's my longest wearing lip stain, but I really have been liking it. Like, I've been wearing it a lot this summer. I also have this from them that I haven't even tried yet. As you can see, I need to test it out. So they have a brow stain, or, well, okay, so it's called the Wonder Blading Brow Stain and Go Mask. I've just been so intimidated to try this because I'm like, what if it messes up my brows? I don't know. I have to try this on a day where I'm not going anywhere and I can potentially look a little bit goofy. So we'll leave this in because I want to try it, but I'm just a little nervous. It's kind of a disaster up here. I think this is the thing about cleaning. I'm like, it's gonna look so much worse before it gets better. But it has been really fun being in this new space. I've been in this apartment now for about a month and a half, and I feel like I'm finally starting to feel very settled in. A good bulk of the decorating is done. Like, obviously there's still more things we'd like to add, but for now, like, it's definitely starting to feel like home in here, which has been really, really fun. We're actually having our housewarming in like a week and a half, so now it feels like full pressure mode. I'm like, okay, we have to finish the decorating. We actually just added, they're so cute, and I'm in love. We added some peel and stick tiles into the kitchen because we had these like solid color tiles and they were nice, but we wanted something with a little bit more character. So I bought some black peel and stick tiles and we added them to every other tile just to create a checkerboard effect. And oh my gosh, it turned out so much better than I was even expecting. Like I hoped it would be cute, but I had no idea that it would look so realistic. And I think the fact that we only did every other tile helped because then you still have that natural texture from the tiles. But yeah, everything is coming together finally. Like, it's really feeling like home. And this obviously is the same vanity setup I had in my old apartment, but I did change out the mirror. Actually, hold on. This is the mirror. I don't know why it looks so filthy dirty. I think it's with the light hitting it. It is clean, but apparently with lots of streaks. But I had that mirror before in the like living room, but swapped it out to put on my vanity now, and then the circle mirror that used to be on my vanity is now in the hallway. So just kind of moved some things around, but I'm really loving this setup and getting ready here. But now we've gotten everything out. The next step is going to be washing these brushes, which we will do together. But first, I'm gonna put everything back that is gonna stay in the drawer. So starting with the Sigma Skin Tints, these are definitely staying in because I wanna keep testing them. But also for base, I want to keep this in. Part of me is like, Kelly, try something else, cycle it out for a bit, but I am just so in love with the Fenty Soft Lit, so we'll keep that in slightly longer. I'm thinking also this Milani lip gloss, or this is their lip oil in the shade Blackberry Agave, and I wore it the other day in a video, and I loved the way it looked. It's just like a slightly deeper, kind of like red-based nude, so I want to wear this more, so we're going to throw this back in. Is that it? This is so tough. Oh, no, definitely not. Wait. Remember I said I was going to keep in the Merit eyeshadow? That is going to stay, along with the Patrick Ta blush. This reddish one I was talking about is She's Blushing. So those will both stay, plus the Naked palette. And then over here on this side is where I keep like my mascaras. They're all still good. None of them need to be tossed yet. Like, nothing is expired. And then I have just like random tools down here as well, plus my eyeshadow primer. Okay, these brow gels, unfortunately the Essence one has to go. This is empty and I feel like I've been holding on to it for an eternity, but I definitely need to get rid of this one because it's been empty. But I think we're gonna pause here on this drawer so we can go wash some brushes and then come back. Okay, welcome to my bathroom. It might be a little echoey in here, but you know the drill. We've got the Sigma brush mat, and actually the sink, doesn't it look almost identical to my sink in my old apartment? Every New York apartment that I've lived in has had this like pedestal type sink, and they make it a little hard to like get ready yourself because you don't have much room along the sides, but alas, we will be washing these brushes today. It is quite overdue. Yeah, the apartment is definitely coming together. I feel like the bathroom, this was the first room that we decorated, and I use that loosely because There's not a ton of decor in here, but we actually swapped out the toilet seat, which I've never done before, but it was pretty easy to do and it looks so cute. So instead of just the white seat, we swapped it out for a wooden one because we felt like it added a little bit of character, and it tied in with the bath mat that we got. And then the shower curtain is lace, which is really cute. It's like kind of sheer, so you can definitely see through it, but in a way I kind of like that because we do have a window in this bathroom and it allows the light to still come through without it being blocked because the curtain is quite sheer. Now these brushes, this is the BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N15. They all have this like tint at the end, so it's kind of weird because when they're actually clean they look dirty, and I find it a little hard to tell if I still have like product in here because normally, you know, you kind of eyeball it and see, oh, there's still a lot of color there, but these always have that because the whole collab has that tint, which I kind of like and I kind of don't like. Also thinking at some point today, I want to change out my nails. These are from Nicki Minaj's nail brand, her new company Pink Fridays. And I've had these nails on, I said Pink Fridays, I think it's just Pink Fridays singular. I've had these on for, I think, close to 2 weeks now, and I haven't lost any of them. And I'm actually a little nervous. They seem like really on here. The glue is pretty great. I used the glue from their own brand. And these have probably been like my most complimented nails in a long time. It would be like everywhere I go, a stranger would be like, oh, I really love your nails. And I will say though, the set I have on was initially super long, like out to here, and I trimmed it way down because they looked really cool when they were that long. I just was having trouble doing like normal tasks, and I was like, okay, I need these to be a little shorter. So I cut them way down, and I will say they have chipped a decent amount on the ends. It's kind of subtle and hard to see, but they have started to chip where the chrome is. And it's hard to say if that's because I cut them down. Like, had I not done that, would it have been sealed on there a bit better and not chipped? I can't say, but I will say they chipped a lot and pretty early on. That is like semi-common with any press-ons that have a pattern, like it eventually will start to chip, but I do think these started chipping earlier than normal. But I'm just ready for something new, especially because they are getting quite a bit chipped along the sides. So I think if I'm able to get them off today, we will swap them out. I was trying earlier to like lift them a little bit, see like, are they really on there? Are they coming loose? I do have one more set from Pink Friday, and it is a cherry set, which I thought was really cute. I'm not sure what nails I'm gonna do. I have a couple that I'm gonna choose between, so we'll do those on camera. Once I finish all the brush washing, all the reorganizing, that can be the reward. I'm like, okay, Kelly, then you can have new nails. Sometimes I do feel like I have to bribe myself to do my chores. I'm like, if you do all this, we'll go get a coffee or we'll go get a treat. We're back to this drawer. Let's put it back together. First, I'm just gonna put my lip liners and everything back. I just keep them in this section right up here. But for the new products, first of all, I picked out this palette from Salt New York. This is a custom palette that I have with 2 bronzer shades and 2 blush shades. I really love this, especially for summer, because I feel like it just looks super natural, and it is pretty lightweight while still being a very emollient cream. And I find myself reaching for this quite often. I do have a code with Salt New York. I'll put it on the screen. I believe it's just Kelly 10 maybe. I'll put it on the screen though. And remember, we did keep a lot of the products from before, but I'm also going to be adding in the liquid bronzer from Say. This has been one of my newer favorites. I wear the shade Sand, which is one of the lightest shades, but it's not actually quite the lightest. But I like taking this, putting it on the back of my hand and picking it up with a brush and applying it like that. I think it looks perfect every single time. So I want to throw that in. And then I also decided to throw this in. I haven't used this in a long time. This is my highlighter from Rare Beauty. The shade is called Enchant, and it is a subtle pink. And what I'm thinking is I can obviously wear this alone as a highlighter, or I can try mixing it in with any of the other base products, or if I want to mix it in with any of the blushes. Like, I just feel like I'll have a lot of options with this. I love a liquid highlight for mixing, honestly more than wearing on its own. Like I tend to mix my liquid highlight, so I want to put that in. But for blushes, I picked out two, starting with this one from Tower 28. This is the shade Beach Please. Their cream blushes are really, really creamy. Actually, a kind of a similar formula to the Salt New York, but I would say this is more pigmented. But this shade is the perfect nude if you're around my skin tone. It is just like quite neutral. It's not super bright, and I feel like this is the type of shade I've been really into lately. And then the blush powder, or the powder blush that I grabbed, is actually kind of a similar shade. So this is from Milani. I haven't used this in a long time. It's their Rose Powder Blush, specifically in the shade Romantic Rose. And I think these two are gonna be pretty similar. So if anything, if I wanted to start with the cream and then layer the powder over top, I think the shades would be pretty similar, or I could just choose one or the other. This is the type of tone I've been really into lately, so definitely wanted to grab something like that, because if you remember, we still have the more rosy blush in there already. And then for a powder bronzer, I haven't used this one in quite a while. This is from Nabla. It is their Skin Glazing Bronzer in the shade Ambra. So it's a baked bronzer. It has a little bit of a glow to it, but really no noticeable like shimmer particles. This was one of my favorite bronzers for a really long time there, and every time I pull it back out, I really enjoy the look. And I'm thinking because this is slightly more glowy, it's gonna be a good bronzer right now in the summer when I want a little bit more life from my powders. For lips, first I grabbed this one because I was really into this probably 2 years ago, and I haven't used it in a while. If you remember how popular this lip gloss was, this is Hot Chocolate from Fenty. They have a couple different versions of Hot Chocolate. This is Hot Chocolate Heat, I believe, right? Is this Heat? I have both. No, this isn't Heat. This is the regular, but I do also have Heat. But this is a brown lip gloss, and I think it is so beautiful with a brown lip liner, or even just like a deeper nude lip liner. Because you can see it really shears out. Like you could apply a higher amount of product and get a little more pigment, or you can really shear it out and just have that brown tint. So it's super, super pretty, and I feel like this time of summer, when we're kind of like later in summer, I'm liking more of a brown lip like that. But I did also want to grab something slightly more pink. So we've got the Summer Fridays lip oil in the shade of Blush Dreams. So these, if you remember, were not my favorite when they first launched, and I still won't say it's my favorite formula of all time, but I do really like it, and I want to throw it in here so I start using it a little bit more, because I do think this shade is super pretty, but I feel like I don't tend to automatically reach for it because, you know, like I said, it's not my absolute favorite formula. So because of that, I think I forget about it and skip over it, which is why I want to throw it in the drawer and get a little more use out of it. Maybe it'll grow on me a little bit. But then I always like to grab a bullet lipstick, and normally like a very nude shade. So this is a nice light nude from Kosas. It's a mini, obviously, but this is the shade Fantasy Life. You can see it's super duper light and peachy, but I think it pairs really well with a deeper lip liner. So that's one of my go-to combos. I'll take more of a rosy or even like a brown lip liner, fill the lips in, and then add this to the center to get kind of that ombre like shadowed look, and I think it looks gorgeous every single time. I'm also gonna throw this powder back in. This was in there previously. It's the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. So I wear the shade Fair 2, and you can see I've got a really big pan on this, and I just wanna use it up. I'm so close, so hopefully having it in here will help me use it up. Oh, I forgot a concealer. Okay, I know exactly which one I want though. Let me grab that. Here we go. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Light 2. I've actually been doing some no concealer looks lately, which is very different for me, but I've been liking having just less coverage there, and this kind of falls in line with that. Because it is a pretty light coverage product, it's not super highly pigmented. So we'll add that. This drawer is all done. Let's see now if I am able to get these nails off. Let's try to swap these out. Okay, it is nails time. I took the other ones off. It was a little bit tricky. They were like very on there, but I took them off, and I need to push back my cuticles a little bit still, but I'm trying to decide between these 3 pairs of nails. So first, these are the ones, the Pink Friday ones that I mentioned that have the cherries on them. Look at this packaging. This is so cute. This is, like I said, Nicki Minaj's nail brand. It has a little pocket, and then in here you've got the nail file, the cuticle pusher, the extra nails are in here, prep pad, everything you need is in there, plus the glue. It's so cute. I'm actually so impressed with this packaging. You've got 10 nails here, but like I said, the extras are inside, but for the price of Nicki Minaj's nails, I feel like the packaging is really superior to most other press-on nail brands on the market that are offering things at like a similar price, if not more expensive. Like some of her nails, the last set that I had on was only $15, which for like a high-end press-on nail brand is pretty good. So anyways, all that to say, this is option number one, but I kind of feel like I want to save the cherries for like early fall maybe, I don't know. But this set I've been wanting to do for a while. This is from Glamnetic. It is the Bubblegum Glaze Short Almond. The only thing that's holding me back is that I just had the French metallic tip, so I'm like, do I want to do that? So I also have this set that I was considering. This is from Paint Lab. This brand, I'm pretty sure is at Walmart. It is one of the most inexpensive nail brands, and I feel like it actually does perform like my high-end one, so I think I'm leaning towards this. So like I said, I took the nails off and I kind of filed my nail a tiny bit to get the glue off. I cut them also, but now I'm just gonna push back my cuticles a little bit. Okay, now just trying to determine what sizes I want for each nail. This I feel like is the most tedious part of doing press-ons. It's just determining which nail I want to use. Oh my gosh, I've done this twice now where I thought that my camera was on and I thought that I was recording, but I was not. But I have separated all the nails out and I started to put them on, but I realized I forgot to go over it with this alcohol pad. I do recommend doing this because it helps the nails stick a little bit better. So I like to go over this first. Most press-on nail kits will include an alcohol swab, but if not, if you have some on hand, use it. If not, it's not a huge deal, but I do think it makes a difference in terms of the lasting power. But I did already put this one nail on. Like I said, they feel so short compared to the super long nails that I had on before, but the glue that I'm using is the Pink Friday glue again, because I felt like it lasted a really long time. Like they were super on with that last set that I had. So I'm using her glue again right now, and I just kind of squiggle it around really, because you want to try to coat the nail as evenly as possible. Sometimes I'll put some glue on the fake nail also. Sometimes I don't. It really just depends, because sometimes if you get too much glue, it gets a little messy. If it's going to start squishing out of the sides of it, it's going to look kind of bad. So if I feel like I need extra glue, I'll put some on the nail, but you don't always have to. I really think the main key is just sitting here with pressure on the nail for a solid 20 seconds after you apply it, so it can really set down before you let go. And I feel like when it comes to these clear nails, they're really good at identifying if you put the glue on evenly. Like you can see here, I probably could have done a better job. Here, probably could have done a better job on this one. You can see it's not super even under the nail. So for the next one, I'll try to get the glue a little bit more spread out. Another tip that I have is I try not to wet my nails right away after doing this. I try to wait, honestly, as long as possible so that the glue really has a chance to dry before I'm going in with any water. And I have pretty good luck with my press-on nails. Generally, they'll last a solid 2 weeks. Maybe I'll lose one nail in the meantime, but I like to keep nail glue in my purse with me when I'm going out. If I happen to lose a nail, you know, I can touch up, but it's definitely a trial and error thing. It takes practice, but I've definitely gotten better at it to the point that I feel like they really stay on. If you're using enough glue, using all these methods, I think they're gonna last you quite a while. And the thing is, you can reuse the nails, especially if they're not too like chipped or scratched up. Like once they come off, you can sanitize them and then file the glue off and then reuse them in the future. I've had many nails that I've reused a solid like 3 times and gotten really great use out of. I have an electric drill that I'll drill like the underside of the nail to get the extra glue off. But if you don't have that, you can just file it by hand. It just is a little tricky because of the shape being curved, but definitely reuse your nails. You know, you can use them a couple times. So when I'm applying them, I like to go pinky to pointer finger, and then I like to do thumbs last because, I mean, I guess I could do the other thumb right now, but it gives me a little bit more mobility, at least in my mind. That's just what I prefer to do, but definitely play around and see what's easiest for you for application. But once I finish these up, I'm gonna go do a little bit of light makeup. I'm actually meeting my friend for dinner in a bit, so we'll do a quick makeup look using all the new Shop My Stash products that we picked out. This is what the nails look like. I think they're very cute. These are definitely on the shorter side, which is nice. I feel like I can type a bit easier and everything, so I really like these. I'll have them linked, but now let's go ahead and go do a quick makeup look with the new Shop My Stash products. So I did the brow tint. I think it turned out pretty nice, actually. We'll see how long it lasts. I will probably still throw in just some brow gel like normal, but I think it's looking nice. I was going to film it. I was really nervous, and I was like, let me just try it. And so I'll definitely, what am I saying? I will try to film a video of it at some point, but I figure for tonight, let's also do the lip stain. This is in the shade Charming. Okay, kind of wiping it off the inner portion actually right away, because I find that's the part that gets the most red, and that's when it can get like patchy and uneven. Also, the braids, you're probably like, girl, what's going on? I'm doing some like heatless curls right now, or heatless waves. So these are just, obviously they have been in here for a minute. We're gonna take these out at the end. We'll see how they turn out. Fingers crossed that it looks nice. But I really don't even leave this on for very long at all. And I'm just gonna go ahead, wipe it off. If you wanted it even like brighter and bolder, you could definitely leave it on longer, but even with just a few seconds, like it will stain. Here are the lips. Sometimes I will go in and do a second coat. I know that's a lot of work and it's unnecessary and you don't need to do that, but I have done that, like go in with a second coat to get even more definition, especially like, here, we'll do it just so I can explain. Like I'll do this, and then the second coat, I'll do just like a lip liner. Let that sit again. Not even very long at all really before I wipe it off. I just think it adds even a little bit more definition to the lip line if I didn't want to go in with lip liner. Like then I could just wear this. And I think it's perfect for like tonight. Like I said, I'm going to dinner, so I don't really want, I mean, if I have a lip, it's just gonna disappear while I'm eating. So this is nice to leave a little stain behind. Oops, that was this. But I'm gonna go in with the Sigma Skin Perfector Hydrating Tint. So this is new, and I think I mentioned earlier, this is only my second time using it. I'm wearing the shade 3. 2 is a little bit too light for me. 3 is, it works because it's so sheer, but honestly my best match would probably be the mixture of the two. It only comes in 6 shades though, which I really don't like. And I'm so pale, there's no way that I am the middle shade, or like that my shade is in the middle. Like that doesn't really make sense to me. They are quite sheer, like I said, so I do think they're a little bit adaptable and forgiving in that way, but I definitely think they need more shades. Now moving to the Glossier concealer that I mentioned earlier. The brush that I would normally use with this is still wet from just washing my brushes, so I'm actually just gonna take a pretty dense eyeshadow brush. This is a dual-ended brush that e.l.f. had years ago. It's not available anymore, I don't believe, but I'm just gonna take this and target the under eyes a little bit. I like this concealer because it's very creamy, it's very emollient, but not so much so to the point that it's like sticky or moving around on the face. It just is really creamy and hydrating. And it also has a pretty light coverage, which is what I'm going for tonight. We're going for a very minimal makeup look. Like I'm really not doing much. I actually don't think I'm gonna do any like eye or mascara or anything. We're mostly just gonna focus on the face. Then a little brow gel. Like I said though, I did do the Wonder Brow tint. I left it on for the minimal amount of time because I was actually kind of terrified that it was going to be way too dark and stain, but I think it looks pretty nice actually. It's pretty natural, so I'm thinking all we're going to need is, yeah, just that little brow gel to stick the brows in place, but they have a nice tint to them to begin with. Okay, now the Salt New York palette. Again, the brushes I normally would use for this are dirty, but let's use this. This is actually a foundation brush. It's the other side of that one, but I think I'm gonna do a combination of both of these bronzers, but mostly this one. So this is light and this one is taupe. I really think if you are going for this like no makeup, very natural skin-like look, Salt New York is the perfect, it's the answer. If you like something a bit more glam, you might not enjoy these, but for makeup that literally doesn't look like makeup, these are such a great formula. Okay, and then how about just a tiny bit of blush, but I don't want to do much. Okay, that might be it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a little bit of powder, but let's take the hair down and see how these turned out. So I just did basically like a French braid, but with a twist instead of a braid. This is my favorite method for making waves because I find if I do a regular braid, it looks too flat, I guess. Whereas I think these just look like you did it with a 3-barrel waver. I think they look so nice. Look, they're just so shiny. Oh, I love it. Look, the braids look so pretty. I am feeling like the eyebrows feel so intense, maybe more than I want. I'm like, maybe I can tap over them with the foundation. I just feel like I wear my eyebrows pretty light, so these feel darker than I'm used to seeing my eyebrows. I don't know, maybe they look nice, but anyways, this is the very simple look for dinner tonight. Thank you so much for watching this reset video, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.